So this is one of my favorite questions that I get. We have a lot of wow factors. The first is we are the third largest cellular router manufacturer in the world. Second to that is our high reliability. We have an under 1% fail rate in the field right now on our units. One of the last really, really big factors that we have that blows people's mind is our cloud device management portal is actually free.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here with Martin Crouse, Regional Sales Manager of the Mid-Atlantic for InHand Networks. How you doing today, Martin?
I'm doing great. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about InHand Networks.
Sure. So I am, like you said, the regional sales manager for InHand Networks. So what my role is to basically develop existing and new business in Maryland, DC, Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina. Um, and InHand Networks is a global leader in industrial IoT applications. So we are a hardware manufacturer. So we just produce various different types of routers, gateways that fire up on a cellular service like T-Mobile, Verizon, or AT&T, are what most people are familiar with.
So you guys are you exclusively B2B?
Yes, we are exclusive B2B.
Gotcha. And what verticals do you service?
So there's really not a vertical out there that I don't think that we don't service. So it's quite a large grouping of them. Enterprise networks, industrial building IoTs, smart commerce, digital energy, utilities. I mean, it even gets down to as simple as retail spaces, retail stores, because we supply internet from our boxes and retail stores, they all need internet to survive. So if a business needs internet, that's where we come in. So I don't know who's out there not on internet yet, but I would love to know if you find someone out there.
I think you just described every company on planet Earth at the moment. So that's a good business niche to have. What's the origin story of InHand Networks? How long they've been around?
InHand got started in 2001. There was a group of engineers, from my understanding, at Schneider Electric, and they made their own router somewhere over in China. And then they brought the idea out to Schneider and they sold it to them. And they realized they had a business once they did that. And that was back in 2001. But so we've been around for about 22 years. And we had our big breakthrough with GE Healthcare in 2005. That was like one of our first big giant clients that we have. So a lot of their MRI machines needed some remote monitoring equipment, which needs internet. So cue InHand.
Sure, I imagine that requires a fair bit of data to be streamed accurately, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And what sort of products are, at the top of your plate these days?
I think our most popular would be it's a product called the IR305. And I think it's the most popular because it's one of the most price effective ones we have, and it's a bit small in size. And people use that one for like digital billboards, kiosks, ATMs. They can use it for like primary internet failover solutions and cellular failover because it is dual SIM capable as well.
Excellent. And what makes InHand stand out from its competition?
So this is one of my favorite questions that I get because there's a bunch. We have a lot of wow factors
Good.
or disruptors, if you will. The first is we are the third largest cellular router manufacturer in the world by
Mhm.
volume. So with that comes us the ability to buy components in bulk, which means we can pass those discounts on to our customers. So in the industry, we are known as the low cost manufacturer for cellular routers. So second to that is our high reliability. We have an under 1% fail rate in the field right now on our units, which is pretty impressive. Um, and we know we have that fail rate as super, super low. So we do something that no one else is doing right now, which is providing a 3-year warranty on all of our routers and gateways, no cost. It's just a 3-year warranty that we support. And then one of the last really, really big factors that we have that blows people's mind is our cloud device management portal is actually free. It's completely free for users for the life of the device. It's not just a 1-year gimmick, get you roped in, and then we'll start charging. It is completely free for the life of the device. We have there's only one router we have, our 5G SD-WAN router, but that one is free for the first year. Then after that, it's $30 a year, which is still nothing compared to what everyone else is doing.
Hey, that level of confidence in your products speaks volumes when somebody's shopping for gear, especially in the digital landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from just basic connectivity, what are the most common problems you're solving for your clients?
I think the biggest right now that I'm seeing, especially in the restaurant space, a lot of people have hardwired internet into their companies or on their storefronts, and people are running into the problem where their internet is failing. And that can be catastrophic for, like, say, like a grocery chain. Because if you're without internet for about 2 to 3 hours, you're losing out on thousands and thousands of dollars because your customers can't check out unless even if they have cash, they can't check out because inventory. They got to keep everything in track. So what they'll do with our routers, it has a failover solution in it. So when the primary internet um, disconnects unexpectedly, their IT departments can get email alerts or text alerts, and like the sirens are going off, and they know immediately when their internet's gone out and the cellular has kicked over on one of our routers. So that way they have 100% uptime.
I know in a previous conversation, you also mentioned some power backup on some of your devices. You want to talk about that for a
Yes.
second? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's even better. So even if your internet goes out, sometimes your power goes out too. So we actually just created a new router just by strictly listening to our customers and our top resellers. We went to them and asked them if we could build them anything in the world that they don't have yet, what would it be? And they wanted a better battery backup solution that also does the primary and cellular failover on top of it that still reaches our low cost goals and free device management platform. So that's how we just created and invented our CR202, which just released earlier this year.
Excellent. All right, let's talk about the COVID years for a minute. I assume that as people go home and work remotely, there was more need for better connectivity across the board. And I know you're not a B2C, but you have to have seen some sort of lift in the call for your devices, considering almost everyone is working remotely for the last couple of years. Tell me about how you've been able to grow the business through COVID.
We did. So that's a funny question because about more than a quarter of our employees are R&D, research and development. So they're always creating new products, and we do custom solutions too. So if a company specifically needs a specific size or just wants to change the color or something, they want to white label something, we can do things like that. So we're very agile. And during the COVID years, people wanted those remote temperature sensing machines. So they were going to deploy quite a few of them in a bunch of like stores and grocery stores where they would read your temperature
Sure.
as you're coming into the stores. So we actually created a machine that does that. It's already a complete built-in solution. So we didn't just supply the internet. We did the whole machine. It ran AI for like the cameras that could read your body's temperatures. So we produced a bunch of those and got some of those out in the field. So that's a little bit how we adapted with COVID. But one thing I love about InHand is how agile and quick we are to react to things in the market. Like we built the backup battery solution, and then the COVID monitoring temperature machines. So we're very quick and agile. So I don't think I'm ever afraid of any kind of downfalls in the economy with InHand.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. What role has content played in the growth of InHand Networks? How are you guys telling your story?
Being on the sales side of things, I work with a lot of the resellers in the market. So they buy from us and then resell and add additional value. So I'm not necessarily the one in front of the customer. It's good to get me in front of the customer to show manufacturer support. So our resellers rely on our marketing content that we have. So that's like whether we do case studies or we do joint marketing material. I've been to trade shows where we've needed to generate like banners for our resellers to put in booths. But I think the best ones that we do are the case studies with our larger clients. So that's where we'll basically generate like a little 2-page flyer and showcase the product, the problem, what it solved, and the solutions, and then testimonies from the customers and why they selected InHand. So I think those things are pretty powerful for us.
Excellent. All right. Look, a year down the road, what are some things you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
Personally and professionally, in a year from now, I'd really like to see this area double its digits in revenue, or if not more. That is the biggest thing, and it's looking like we're going to be able to do it with the help of the carriers, because they're still getting their feet wet with us out there, and since we are a lower cost provider, the carriers can basically sell our products and the carriers get more activations versus selling our competition and the carriers getting lower activations. So we're helping them win left and right. So the more I can get in front of them and tell them about us and where we're winning with their company in other parts of my region, I think we're going to be able to exceed that number.
Excellent. Well, please tell us what your URL is, where people can find InHand Networks, and what social media outlets you're using these days.
Yeah, so our website is inhandnetworks.com, and that is literally like in your hand, in the palm of your hand. And we are on LinkedIn, so you can follow us for updates on there. I'm also on LinkedIn, Martin Crouse. Feel free to add me and message me on there. And I look forward to hearing from everybody.
Excellent. Martin Crouse of InHand Networks, thank you for spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. I wish you, yours, and InHand Networks all the best in the future.
Thanks for reaching out, Andrew. I appreciate being on here.
My pleasure. Be well.